Hello everybody and welcome to the repair series, and in this video we've got to do the front shocks and springs on a 2006 Honda Civic. So obviously this runs through from 2006 all the way up to sort of 2009-10 I do believe, but I don't think they've changed a lot different through from that point of view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through like a step by step as best I can of how to do it. And there is a few key elements that you're going to need if you want to undertake this job yourself at home. Mainly it's going to be a spring compressor. You're going to need a decent spring compressor. You can use the ones like this, which you clamp onto the top and the bottom. I'm not a massive fan of them, but a lot of the time they're the only ones that the home mechanic can get hold of. For about £70 you can buy like a freestanding bottle jack version which will compress it. They're on eBay etc. from that point of view, or Amazon. I'll be using a hydraulic spring compressor which I've got because I do these all the time. So with that said, if you do find this video helpful, please do like and subscribe. It does help me out, and if you have any other problems with these cars or you want any other tips, then just leave a comment in the description and I'll try and help out with anything that I need or that I know. So with that said, let's get into it. Right, so I'm doing both of them. Failed the MOT on the leaking shock absorber. So obviously we've got to take the spring off to do the shock, and they're original springs as well. So for the sake of it, we're going to be replacing them both together. We could have done the top shock mounts as well, but there's nothing really wrong with them. And they're another 45 quid. And I know that these are like an older couple who own this car, so I'm trying to keep the costs down, so I haven't gone through to do them. So first off, we need to do, I will get the camera over here so we can see, because it's a bit of a pain. Right, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to remove the scuttle panel to obtain the bolts on the top legs. Okay, so it's best to do this bit first because it's from the top, and once we can see them, then we can work on the suspension leg side of things itself. Right, so here we go. Hello everybody. So we're going to be working over this one here. So what I found is we're going to need to get like a trim clip tool. Some description. Get in here. Pop that up, get that out, so we can see that's the one that it is. It's just a little pop one that sits on there. And obviously we've already started to move that one. It's going to be the same on the other side. Number 2 done. Now we can probably get this up out the way like that. So that's the scuttle panel out the way. What we can do is in this corner here, this is the washers. You can just get that and move it out of the way. They do have a little top cover here, which you can then get into there from that point of view. Okay, so we can see all 3 of them, which is good. Taking this off, it does give us more availability to get onto this one here, but you might get away with just accessing through the cover rather than taking the scuttle panel off. It was 2 clips to get done, so I mean I'm not that bothered about it. Let's move to the suspension leg. Right, so now I'll just take the wheel off. Okay. Right, with the wheel out of the way, now we can see our suspension leg. Got the spring at the top, and then we've got the actual leg section here. I will bring the camera up just to show you, but we've got. So here we have the suspension leg, as I said, and then on the bottom of it we've got the bolts here. We've got one here at the top here, and then the second one is there. They're the 2 that are holding it on, and that's the one for the anti-roll bar link. And then around the other side, this is just the cable that we have that's going to be holding on the ABS sensor. So they're the only 3 that we're going to be undoing, and then we'll be going back up to the top. Right, that's a 14mm. Get some old grips. If not, it does have a centre Allen key socket that you would put an Allen key in and then twist it off, but the fact that it's pretty rotten, that never really works very well. So grab some mole grips, put them on the back. Right, there we go. Bit of a bugger, but we've got it out. That's why the mole grips can work a bit better at times. There we go. That one's out. Size 14. I've lubricated them all up. And then it's 19mm for the other bolts. Make sure it's properly on, yeah? of the spanner on the other side. Now, yeah, you can do this with spanners and like ratchets and stuff like that, but they can be quite tight, so you have to make sure you've got like a big ratchet, not a little ratchet, because the little ratchet you're going to be here all day. Ideally, a battery gun is good. Alright, boom, done. Now if you're undertaking these things yourself, then you've obviously got a bit of confidence in what you can do. Now, if you are like that, then at least invest a little bit of money into some half decent equipment. You don't have to get a Milwaukee one, which is like £400. You can get a cheaper alternative one, but as long as it's got enough power for it, but it will also save you so much time and energy by buying them than doing everything by spanners. What with the battery technologies that we've got at the moment, you know, they're really quite good. I don't use air tools for anything. Everything is battery powered. And if you buy everything that you like within the same range, then the batteries are interchangeable as well. There we go, make sure it's on. I can't get my gun on it because I'm using a long socket and my gun, and it's going to be making contact with the top bolt for the cam carrier, so I'm going to need to put an extension on the top there. So again, make it easy for yourself. Not going to fit too well, so we'll spin the wheel and let it comes all the way out here, so we've got a bit of room. There we go, and two's off. That done then, basically. The bottom leg is done, it's separated. All the bolts that we need to get out are out. These are the bottom bolts. Do the same, but don't take them both out because then it will separate. I like to leave one in, like that, then we can go back up to the top and we can undo the three bolts that are on the top, and then the legs should fall out. Alright, let's go back up top. Yeah, they're 14s. Now obviously all like Japanese cars, they're the only ones who seem to like 14 mils. So we've got three 14 mils here, so I'm just going to use a spanner. I'm using a swan neck spanner here because it's very difficult to get a spanner up and over. So by using a swan neck, you've got that arch over the top to loosen it off. So I've loosened that one off. We'll go in a bit further. Yep. That one's done. And then this is the other one that we can get into. Now we took the scuttle off, but you can get to it through the hole. What's happened is that is seized on, and the bolt, because it's not a bolt, it's just a stud. The stud is actually spinning with the nut on top, so the nuts are spinning on top of it all. So it is going to need a new top mount now. But more annoyingly, I've got to try and work out how the hell I'm going to get that off. I'm going to have to probably grind the nut off. Had to get the nut off. The only way I could get the nut off was to grind it down and then whack it off. So we've done that now. And we've ordered a new top mount from Eurotech Parts. So back to where we were. We did a pretty good job, if I'm honest. What I like to do is take the hardest one off first, which is like the back one. Yeah. What I'll do is I like to take the things that go wrong to the customer as well. So I'm going to take this top mount to the customer. to show them, you know, what happened. The annoying thing was, I was actually going to buy the top mounts as well, but I didn't want to because I wanted to try and save them some money, but I didn't make that way. So right, so now we've got them done, we'll take out this last one here. It's not, I can't get the bottom, I can't get the top bolt out because it's hitting on the flexi hose retaining bolt. That's that one there. Now we can take out top bolt, hold the strut in, just give it a push, a wiggle, and then we give it a wiggle, and there we go. The leg is basically out. So this is going to just make sure this doesn't flop around too much, and it's not putting any pressure on any wires. And we can come back up the top here, undo the last nut. And there we have our suspension leg out. So this is the one at the back here, which has come dislodged within the actual housing itself. So this is why we're going to need to replace the top mount on that one. And then I'll go through the process of compressing the spring and everything like that in a minute. Oh, right, so here we go. So I've also, because we had the issue with the driver's side one, I've gone ahead and I've removed the passenger side one because this is the one that was the worst of the two. I don't know if you can see the state of it, but the shock has leaked everywhere, all over it all. So we need a new shock. And as I say, we may as well replace the spring at the same sort of time. So here I have the new shock. What you need to do is just eye them up, make sure that they look the same because they are sided. So make sure that you've got the right side before you go any further. Last thing you want to do is fit it all up and then realise it's the wrong side. And then here's the springs we're going to be using. These will be the same both sides. Yeah, they look good. I don't know if you can see from here, but there is a smaller, it goes smaller at the top and it stays wider at the bottom. So the smaller bit goes up the top. Right, here's my spring compressor, which we'll be using to remove around, because you've got this bit at the bottom here, things get stuck next to that, so if we do it this way, hopefully it'll give us more. Right. So it's in the jaws. Believe it's an 18mm. So what we're going to want to do is we move the boot up, that's what I do, get some mole grips, hold the mole grips on the shaft. There we go, nice and tight. And then we can undo it. Now I'm going to press it a bit more until we feel like the tension's off. Because we don't want the spring firing off at us. There you go, you saw that move? I don't know if you did, but the whole lot moved around a bit. So now when we take the nut off the top and take off the top mount, and you always sort of build it back the way it comes so you know. Right, what we're going to do now is take off the clips and loosen it off a little bit, take them out, and we're going to loosen it all the way off like that. So we can take out the old one. Now we are renewing the spring as well, so we are going to take that off too. This looks like it's got the slides on, okay? This slides around like that, so you have to come off and then up, put that down like that, slide that around until it gets into place, okay? Put that onto the top, there, so we know where that goes. That's the old spring. In here we've got the casing and the bump stop. That's all with that. That will all go inside here. Like I said, this will go like under there and then sit in that area, so that's how it knows that it wants to be. And then we can pop this back in here, compressing it, and then here we've got the new one. They put this like little hook thing around it. Why? New nut. So this has again got a locator on it just there, if you can see it in there, which the bottom of the spring needs to sit against. So everything has a position. So it needs to sit there like that. That needs to sit there like that. And we need to compress it. Compress it, put that through there like that. Then we can see at the top here, the nut is busting through. Then we can wind the nut on as much as we can. Checking that everything is in location. I'll get my mold grips back on here. I'll try and do it as high as I possibly can. And you won't really mark these. It's good to get it as high as you can. Right, so that goes there. That wants to go there a little bit. Yep. There we go. That's, as you say, that's like that. Check that's against there like it is. It's not sitting perfectly, so I'm going to press it again. There we go. Now it's sitting with inside. There's a little channel it needs to sit in. Okay, so that's sitting in there. That's on there like that. Then we can release it again, nice and gently. And there we have it. We've got the new shock, new spring, and the old top mount. Everything's in its location, which is good. And now we can fit it back up again. So there we go. There we have our shock and spring all mounted back up together, and then we're just going to refit it the same way we took it out. What I'd do is I'd place it up, put a nut on one of the top ones to hold it in place. Okay, put it on all three if you can, but at least put one on there. That way you can leave it in position, and then you can line up the hub at the bottom into this section here, which you would have seen when you took it all out. Just put them two in loosely, then do the three at the top up first, so then it holds it all up in place, and then just start putting all the bits and bobs back together again. So this is how you replace the springs and the shocks on a Honda Civic 2006 onwards for a few years. If you found the video helpful, then please do leave a like or a comment or anything like that, or if you want to see me do anything else, then just let me know. Thanks for watching on this one, and I'll catch you next time.